Today, we're diving into a complex yet profound topic: consciousness. That elusive, enigmatic experience of just being. All our thoughts, actions, and emotions, all that we were, are, and will be, stem from this fragile, wondrous construct. Everything that shapes our world is dictated by our conscious experience. And because of that, we must be highly selective about what we allow to take up residence in our minds. Imagine the thoughts, sensations, and perceptions you're experiencing right now. You might be walking, and the textures, colors, sounds, and shapes around you are pouring into your awareness. Or maybe you're sitting comfortably, tuning into the subtle hum of your environment. Every little detail, your breath, the air against your skin, the emotions lingering in the back of your mind, makes up this moment. This constant flood of experiences is what forms your consciousness. But here's where things get a little tricky. Your mind isn't a passive observer. It's actively shaping your world. The philosopher Thomas Nagel once expressed that consciousness is what it feels like to be something. If there's something it's like to be an organism, like a bat, for example, then that creature is conscious. But what's that really like? Imagine navigating the world through sound rather than sight, perceiving reality through echoes bouncing back at you. It's impossible for us to truly grasp that experience because we're bound to our own human constraints. But here's something easier to picture: a dreamless sleep. Think about the moment when you fall into a deep sleep. There's no dreaming, no thought, no sensation. It's as if you cease to exist entirely. You've stepped outside of your own experience. And when you wake up, it's almost as if you're being switched back on, like the lights in a darkened room, suddenly flooding everything with clarity and presence again. That is the essence of consciousness. It's the light that illuminates everything you feel, think, and perceive. And because our consciousness is the core of all our experiences, it's essential to be mindful about what we let into this sacred space. Think of your mind as a beautiful, curated museum. Each thought, each piece of information, and each experience is an exhibit on display. Some museums are full of exquisite artifacts, each item carefully selected to tell a compelling story. Others? They're dusty warehouses, overflowing with trivial junk, old fears, lingering regrets, pointless comparisons, and clutter that drowns out the beauty that could be there. You are the curator of this museum. You get to decide what goes in and what stays out. It's your responsibility to guard this space with utmost care, to ensure that every thought, every piece of information, and every experience that enters your mind has a rightful place. Just as a skilled curator wouldn't fill a gallery with meaningless trinkets, you shouldn't allow your mind to be crammed with inconsequential noise. You have to filter out the clutter and choose what truly matters. The life we have, with all its joys, losses, ambitions, and tragedies, is completely saturated by our consciousness. Everything has meaning only through the lens of our conscious mind. If our minds are cluttered with negativity, fears, and doubts, then that's the landscape we inhabit. But if we fill it with purpose, joy, and carefully curated thoughts, then that becomes our reality. Consider what happens when we overfill this space. You get distracted, overwhelmed, and end up feeling directionless. Our experiences lose their impact because we're overstimulated by the sheer volume of what's competing for our attention. Your mind is the single most valuable space you'll ever have, so why let it be overrun by junk? Not all information deserves your time. Not all people deserve your energy. Not all media is worth consuming. And not all activities are worth your effort. Just because something is accessible doesn't mean it should take up space in your mind. It's time to edit ruthlessly. Choose what you allow into your consciousness with the same level of scrutiny as you would when making a life-altering decision. Your experiences shape you in ways both subtle and profound. They determine what you believe, what you fear, and what you strive for. You have to be proactive in guarding your mental space. Start by assessing the kinds of content you're consuming. Are the books you read, the media you watch, and the people you interact with enriching your life or draining it? Are they inspiring you, or are they pulling you down? Every experience either builds you up or wears you down, and it's your responsibility to keep track of which is doing what. When you choose to be intentional, when you decide to fill your mind with meaningful content and inspiring people, you elevate the quality of your consciousness. You become the master of your own internal world, and your life changes accordingly. Wrapping up your world is only as expansive as your consciousness allows it to be. So, curate it with care. Keep your mind like a pristine, well-organized museum. Fill it with wonder and beauty. Let go of the clutter, and protect it with everything you've got. With that in mind, take 3 deep breaths. Stack them on top of each other, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a count of 5, and release. Feel that rush of energy. Feel your mind clear and centered. That's what curating your consciousness feels like. We hope today's session brought you a sense of clarity, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Keep guarding your mind, and remember, you're the curator of your own consciousness. Choose wisely.